Hi, I'm Chris Davis from Washington, D.C., Mitchellville, Maryland, currently.
And I'm Joanne Davis from Mitchellville, Maryland.
So, where we are right now is a place of Joanne's home. Even though she was born and raised in Washington, D.C., she was raised in this particular home and surrounded by her home. It's her uncle and her aunts, her mom, and this community has always been ingrained in her family. And so, as we traveled to South Carolina pretty much every summer, she would see her grandmother's house. And even though we would stay somewhere else, she could see her grandmother's house each and every day. And the house wasn't lived in, and it was kind of dilapidated. And I know it weighed on her mind. And so,
And so last year in February, after having a discussion with Chris about, what I wanted to do, that I wanted to have the house built back or whatever work needed to be done on it to go forth with it. So after having a discussion, Chris and I, we decided that we would find a contractor or somebody that would come and rebuild our house back. And so I did. So last year in February, after doing my research, I found Mr. David Trapp and his company. I thought they were a great company because they were the one that had the beautiful website. I said, oh wow. So I said, well, I'll try them. And so I did. I called and I contacted them, talked to his wife. She set up the interview. She set up the phone call and stuff, and with a time that we could come down and meet with them. And so last year in February, we came down, we met Mr. Trapp and his company, we met with them.
and that initial visit, was extraordinary. We had an opportunity just to go sit down. We didn't really know what we were getting into, and we knew that the project would be a big project. We didn't know if we could rebuild the home at that time or if the home needed to be torn down and to start over. But that day in the office, Mr. Trapp and his team just took us through all the scenarios, what would take place within this particular project. And even as we left South Carolina and went back to Maryland, he kept us informed, sent us blueprint of what needed to take place. Eventually, as you can see, we built the home instead of tearing it down. It was just more advantageous to do that. But without a doubt, the team, the information that was gathered was made the process easy. And so as we went through the process, we picked out all the things that we needed in terms of what would be in the homes and going forth. He kept us the project management part in terms of when they would tear down the house, because we wanted to be here for that. And so we came to see the house being torn down.
Yep. We did, and I thought it would be emotional for me, but it really wasn't emotional for me as I thought it would be. I was just happy that we made the decision to have the house torn down and rebuild back. I was excited because I know I was carrying out a plan that my grandmother wanted me to do this. So we did. So just jumping ahead, working with Mr. Trapp and his company, his team, they were fantastic. The communication was open, and we can always call each other and talk to us about the project was going on step by step. And he told us it would take about 6 or maybe 8 months to build. And I was saying, really, it take that long? It's just a little house or whatever. But I can see why it took that long or whatever, but everything was perfect. I have no complaints about anything that him and the company have done. From the financial part of it, everything was great. Everything was on point.
David and his team laid out the entire project, so there was no surprises. From day one, week 1 to week 2 to week 3, we knew exactly what was going to take place, exactly what was needed from our end. And so he kept us abreast. He would send pictures. The team would send pictures each and every week of what was accomplished, what had been achieved. Uh, and if we had any hiccups, that information was also provided for us, which we didn't really have any hiccups. But everything was there. So that mark was set. From a financial standpoint, David gave us particular worksheets to show us what each item costs, not just a summary, but a detailed sheet of each item. And my wife's also, Joanne's detailed too. So she actually kept one also. So the overall experience for us was an A++. And everything, we're in the house now, beautiful home, everything in place. It's it should be emotional for Joanne because it gets emotional for me just to see, just to think of what her grandmother would 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 say
What's
to
that?
her now in terms of the home. The traps, we can't thank them enough. Very much kudos to them in that particular area. The overall experience was excellent. From being out of town, you think that would be difficult, but there was no strain or no struggle in our project whatsoever.
Beyond our expectation.
Beyond
Beyond our expectation. I can't, my grandmother would just be, she would just be smiling to know that here's a house that has been upgraded, that has a bathroom in it now, that, that I didn't have growing up, as a kid, but
air conditioning.
air conditioned, yeah, so air conditioned. And so it's beyond my expectation. It's beyond my imagination. Everybody loves it, and I love it.